Hi, this is Jake at Canadian Cutting Edge. Today we're going to take a look at another Gonzo, the G724M. If you don't include the M when you look for it, well, it should still come up with the results. Although GearBest likes to have you put the M in when you do the search on their site. It's a pretty cool looking knife, fairly unique as far as the texturing on the G10. Come on down to the bench top and we'll take a good look at this thing. Okay, so here we are. We're taking a look at the 724. I'll try to hold this so you can get a look at the number if the light hits it just right. There you go, G724M 440C steel. And I've already got a fingerprint on there. Spent a lot of time cleaning this knife off to give you the best look possible. But there you go. That's the general shape of it. It reminds me an awful lot of another Gonzo knife. One that's quite popular because of its size. The big hefty G720. And if you take a look at those two knives, yeah, you can see the similarities. Same basic blade shape, same basic handle shape. They both have glass breakers. Of course, different texture on the G10. They both have the orange backspacer, which is fairly unique with Gonzo knives. Usually they're pillar construction. They have a little bit different jimping treatments, but very similar in a lot of ways. I also want to show you that there is, they must be getting different runs of G10, because depending on which, this one's a little bit different. These two look very much the same color. The one we're looking at today is a different orange, and the 720 is even a different orange. So if you are thinking about collecting Gonzo knives and you think they're all going to be the same color orange, well, they're not. I haven't done reviews of any of these other knives that you see here. So now you know you've got something to look forward to. Notice I put the model numbers down on these. I'll turn it over for you. If you can see that this is G704, which we'll take a look at sometime soon, I hope. This is, there we go, it's focusing, G745. And this is, oh, where's the light? The G727M. This knife has gotten a lot of reviews on the internet. Birdshot 4, that's Birdshot space IV for the Roman numeral 4. They've done a really neat edge retention test on this knife and comparing it to some other knives. The 440C steel is just awesome that Gonzo makes. Okay, so we've looked enough at that other stuff. Let's get on with the show. All right. So we've got a little over 3 inches of blade, about 3 1/8. That's about 8 centimeters. We've got about 1.25 inches at the widest section of the width this way, from the spine to the cutting edge. The whole knife is about 7.5 inches. That's what, just over 19 centimeters. And when it's folded, it's about 4.5 inches. And that's about just over 11 centimeters. And those people that are curious about the weight, it's 125 grams, 4.4 ounces. And oh, this other one, this guy's a hefty bugger, hefty knife. This knife comes in at 7.1 ounces, 200 grams, the big brother of this guy. All right, so that's enough with the numbers. Now let's get on to talking about the knife itself. Well, the numbers are part of the knife, but I mean reviewing how the knife looks. get that stuff off there so I can get the, there we go. Nice reflective blade. That flat grind, it's not a full flat because it doesn't come right to the top. It leaves you enough room to clamp onto your sharpening system. Clamp your sharpening system onto this knife, or the other way around, as the case may be. Nice thumb studs. They're shaped very well. They don't hurt the thumb at all when you push on them. That's because we've got really nice washers on this knife, and the blade just flies out very well. The blade's flat on the top, you know, on the drop profile there. It's about 3 millimeters thick, just a little bit less than 1/8 of an inch. And the nice grind, it looks like about a 20/20 grind. This knife's just been cutting really, really well, and it's largely to do with the flat grind. So when you're cutting through cardboard, or, you know, this one's really good for doing some food prep as well, because it'll fit, you know, the smaller hands. I've got a large size hand, and my hand feels a little, just a smaller hand would feel comfortable on here is what I'm trying to say. So, you know, it's good for a lot of different purposes. The texture on here reminds me of pineapple. What do you think? What do you think it reminds you of? If you look at it just like this, imagine some green at the top here. Looks like an orange pineapple to me. Nice little lanyard hole back here. As I mentioned, the glass breaker. If you take the glass breaker off, let's see if we can, if it'll focus up here. Come on, knife, camera, focus. If you take the glass breaker off, you're also going to free up the clip. So the clip is for totally deep carry. It goes right to the edge of the knife. I guess you'll see the glass breaker sticking out. And you can loosen that up and just turn it around and put the clip on the other side. So you've got right and left, tip up. Those are your options for the carry. It's got this G10 back filler back here, and it's nice and clean on the inside. There's no skeletonizing of the liners, so that helps make it easy to clean. You know, skeletonizing is good for weight, but it's easy to clean if there's no skeletonization there. And a really nice choil at the beginning, at the blade end of the knife. You've got lots of security there. Your hand is not going to go forward by accident. You know, if you're working on something and your knife suddenly stops, your hand's not going to slide forward. A large part of that's due to this texture. It really helps. And this huge choil. There's jimping at the back of the handle, which is nice jimping in terms of it's not aggressive. It's not going to give you a hot spot. And yet it holds your thumb and stops your thumb very well. And it's got two little jimps. Are they jimps if there's two or less? Instead of jimping on the blade itself, there's just a little bit of jimping there. And that holds it. So the access lock works really well. I'm going to stand up. That'll make it a little bit easier to flip this. I don't know if it's a psychological thing or what, but when I'm standing up, I can make it move better. But then I got to work around the apparatus that I got my camera on. I can usually make it come close when I'm standing more comfortably than I am here. It does go back and forth quite well. It's a very solid lockup. Nothing free left or right, up and down. You know, you could free it up a little bit if you wanted to get really sloppy with the knife, but who wants to do that? So there you've got this really nice knife. The blade shape is nice and deep. I really like this, so that you've got a huge belly, and then you've got a long flat spot, so you've got a variety of choices on how you want to cut. I've got some pine with me today to show the heat treatment is really good. The tip stays just fine. There's nothing wrong with the heat treatment there at all. And it's nice and sharp. I've not had, I'm tired of saying this. I guess I say this almost every time. I've carried this knife actually for about 2 weeks and I've not had to sharpen it at all. I've not even stropped it. It's still got a very nice sharp edge. I would cut paper for you, but it's just too embarrassing for me. I'm just not good enough at cutting it. The knife is good enough. I just don't have the skill set. But just look at that knife. The color is just awesome. You can get it in a army green and a black as well. Two really good color choices. In fact, I believe I'm going to be ordering, I have already ordered the green one. Yes, I've already ordered the green one, and I'll probably order a black one as well. Just because I really like this little knife, and I think this size knife is one that I'll be giving away to people who, you know, don't really know very much about knives, aren't really knife people yet. I think this is a really good introduction to knives kind of thing. The color helps it remain very non-threatening to them. It's easy to say, hey, yeah, that's an okay looking knife. It doesn't look like it's tactical in any way, shape, or form. Even though the blade's over 3 inches long, it really doesn't look like it. It's a good knife. The Axis lock, I had to lubricate it just a little bit, and then I did 50 of these. And that just helped get that spring going nice, and it helped lubricate the back of the knife where the Axis lock rolls on that round edge. This one has the, let me check right now my light. Yes, it's got two brass washers on the holding the knife pivot. And I think that's what makes it slide so really easily back and forth. That really helps. So here's a good knife, guys. I highly recommend this thing. Just remember, when you're using it, cut towards your chum and not your thumb. Bye now.